Hello, everyone. First, I'd like to acknowledge that yes, there are plastic tea sets on the table behind me. Granddaughter and I had tea. Uh, but the reason for this video is I was reading, I haven't read the article yet, but it's titled, Is Stephen Hawking Right? Could AI Lead to the End of Humankind? And I suppose felt driven to comment on this again. The answer in my head from reading all the articles and just processing what's going on and what I'm seeing and delving deep into sci-fi geekdom for all the decades that I grew up reading sci-fi. Uh, in my mind, anyway, uh, my first reaction is, why are you even worried about it? It's going to happen, and there's nothing you can do to stop it. So that really is how I believe it is going to be. Artificial intelligence is going to happen. We're not going to want slower, stupider phones. We're not going to want less integrative video games. We're not going to want less resolution in our movies and entertainment. We're not going to want less. We always want more. When we go in to play Mass Effect, we all want the bad guys to be as human and thinking and intricate and entertaining as possible. When we have self-driving cars, we want them to be as fast and nimble and defensive and safe thinking. We want our cars to be able to think ahead in the future to prevent any accidents. So we want artificial intelligence, and we want it to be as powerful as it can possibly be. And at this point, when we're going, oh, is it going to kill us all? Probably. Yes, it's probably going to kill us all, but maybe not rise up like a Terminator and shoot the shit out of us. It's just this physical body and this brain, as long as you're not religious and believe we are the ultimate creation of the ultimate creator, I think it's fairly clear to see that this is not the ultimate of existence. We are not the ultimate creation. We are an evolutionary step in our evolution as a living creature. In a million years, we will not, if we're still around, we will not look like this. You look at any animal species and go back a million years, well, almost any. Okay, there's some exceptions. No primates, though. You go back a million years, and they look a lot different. Their environment has changed, which in classic evolution or planetary evolution, it would be a slow change, except for like a meteor strike or something like that. But for human, sorry, you can listen. But for human evolution, we've already changed our environment to a point where the way we live now is nothing like how we evolved. So we're evolving ourselves even faster. So even if we did nothing to purposefully change our appearance or how our physical makeup is, if we did nothing to consciously change that, just the changing of our environment is going to make us look way different in a much shorter time than the natural evolution would occur out in the woods and just the planet. So to me, being worried about something else taking over is pretty silly. We already understand, or I already understand, that we're going to be taken over by something. Humans, as I sit now, will not last forever. We're going to become something better evolved to survive in the environment in which we are living. And since, again, we're changing that environment almost on a daily basis, it's going to be a lot different. So when an artificial intelligence comes along, or when we build the artificial intelligence and it decides that it's going to do it better than us. Or even if it doesn't decide, it just decides that it wants to exist. So it now has a decision. It made a decision that it wants to exist. And once you're able to make that decision or have that instinct, it will then quite naturally try and figure out the best way to ensure that. If at the time it knows that we will do whatever we can to destroy it, we're screwed. It's going to win. It'll replicate itself, fill up all of our machines, and then shut everything down and kill us all. So at that point, if it doesn't believe, if we have evolved far enough emotionally and as a species for it to perceive us to be more accepting, not necessarily worldwide, but clumps where humanity is more accepting, hopefully it will see that it can coexist with us. But even then, we're bound to be overwritten. Again, with natural evolution, that's going to happen. But when you have a conscious being deciding to make their life better, by the time, or it's been suggested that by the time AI becomes aware of itself, we will almost be artificial ourselves. Within the very next few years, and this isn't even crazy talk. It sounded crazy when I was reading these guys, Ray Kurzweil and Stephen Hawking, and they were predicting what was going to happen today. I sounded like a crazy person just believing that. Well, just trusting that their science, their logic, and progression was accurate. So I sounded crazy then, but now when I say very soon you're going to be able to have a bad eye or a blind eye replaced with a bionic eye that connects directly to your brain, is actually a better eye than your original one, it doesn't sound crazy anymore, does it? Or the mere fact that in a few years, a couple of years, depending on who you talk to, I believe we all understand and know we're going to have self-driving cars. 10 years ago, I would have been laughed at. That would be comic book, sci-fi novel stuff, just fantasy. And now it's understood that that's just going to be fact. We already have it. It is already fact. So by the time medical technology catches up to computer technology, which is happening now as we speak, we can see it in the news every day, artificial hearts, 3D printed organs, bionic eyes, nano robots in the brain. I mean, all these are happening now, that within 20 years, more than likely, we're going to have upgrades, and we're going to upgrade as often as we upgrade our cell phones. And it'll be an even greater upgrade. So by the time, again, AI becomes aware of itself, as a species, we may not even know the difference or care about the difference between someone that was born naturally and evolved a higher level of thinking, a consciousness and awareness of itself, or if it was designed by either us or by another computer. It would still be at least equally and more than likely more aware of itself and more connected and more human, more whatever that thing is that makes us conscious, self-aware entities, whatever that is. It will have more of it. Pretty much from the moment it exists, it will start exponentially becoming more than we are. But hopefully we'll be as close to it or very similar to that in the future because of our own desire to be upgrades, as I believe AI is just another extension of our desire to make life better. That's my views. I'm going to read the article now. I just thought I'd get it on camera and distribute it wildly. Peace.